Travel clothing is something that I absolutely love on this channel and talk about quite a bit. So when this brand, and I'm probably gonna butcher this name and I apologize in advance, FIOBOC, and don't let my horrible mispronunciation of the name turn you away, because this clothing has been an absolute treat to take with me, not only on my trips, but on my everyday life. And just when I find myself going about my activities, this clothing has a nice little edge to it that I think really elevates it above just your normal everyday travel and everyday wear clothing. Let's get into it. Okay, so the thing that makes this clothing so unique is its stain-resistant material. And I gotta say, at first when they reached out to me, they're like, oh yeah, we have stain-resistant t-shirts. I was like, do you though? Do you really? Because a lot of people claim to have that, and then you test it and you see that it's not exactly stain resistant. And the one that comes to mind for some reason in my head is Drew Gooden, who's a big time YouTuber on this platform. Did like a bunch of like crazy ads that he bought off of like Instagram and stuff, like just ads that popped up on his thing. I'll actually link that video below because it's pretty funny and I like Drew Gooden. But he bought a t-shirt that claimed to be stain resistant, and he was skeptical just like I was. And when he tested it, it turns out that he was wrong and it was very stain resistant. And I can say that this is the same case for me with these t-shirts. They sent me a lovely white t-shirt and this awesome black one that I've been wearing quite a bit, and both of them have been absolutely phenomenal. Now, they claim to be able to be stain resistant for things like condiments, like ketchup, water, mayonnaise, or just dirt, grime, whatever it is, and they wash really easily. Now, I'm somebody that does a lot of outdoor activities, so I wanted to put this to the test. But one of the things that I really wanted to test was a stain resistant ability of what it claims to be stain resistant for, which is things like wine, drinks, rain. And they have like little videos on their website here that is just like, you can just basically either like brush it off or like get a hose and just rinse it off, which to me is very intriguing because I'm somebody that is a very messy cook. Whenever I cook, which I love to cook, there's a little secret about me. Cooking is one of my all-time passions. If I didn't do this kind of channel, I'd probably be doing a cooking channel, if I'm being honest. So having tons of stuff all over, I have like one specific shirt that I have to wear when I cook because it gets absolutely shredded with the crap that I'm cooking. So just looking at them, and when I did some research on this brand, when they reached out to me, this is the real deal here, and I'm very excited because not only are these shirts comfortable, which is another key factor, because sometimes you'll get those shirts, and I've had them before, that they're like stain resistant, and you put them on and you're like, I wouldn't wear this. I'd rather wear a cardboard box with a trash bag in it than wear something like this. These are not only comfortable but stylish, and I'm wearing a medium right now, and for reference, I'm about 5'8", 175 pounds, and I feel like the medium fits me perfectly. Now, when I wash these, I wash them on cold. I do not wash the whites with other colors, and I do not dry them. I let them air dry because I don't like putting things that are cotton in the dryer because then they shrink and they don't fit right, and I just don't like doing that. Okay, so the materials for these shirts, they're 50S high count yarn, long staple cotton. But the big thing is that the fiber strength and the elastic strength are insane. You can really get into stretching these and have no issue. Not to mention the fact that when you do that, and I mean, if you can see, I'm going ham. It bounces right back. They don't stretch out and stay stretched out like normal t-shirts, which to me is a huge plus because sometimes you stretch it out, maybe it gets caught on something, maybe somebody grabs you, maybe you have kids, I do not, but maybe you do, and they like grab on your shirt and you're like, ah, you just stretched out my favorite shirt. With these, you don't really have to worry about that. But here's the other thing, the price point. Now, the thing with shirts like this is typically they can be upwards of $80, $100, sometimes even $120. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Western Rise, which is pretty much the main clothing brand that I use and I talk about all the time on this channel. And I feel like clothing brands like Western Rise are very affordable for what you get. This is no different. These stain resistant shirts, for the comfort, the factors, all of it, is $44. And they come in a couple different colors. They have a couple different versions of this shirt. I'll throw a couple of them up here on the screen. And honestly, I think that for $44 for what you're getting, an all-around versatile shirt that's good for travel, every day, cooking, if you're someone that's very messy like I am, not saying you are, but you could be, then I think that's a really good price point, because honestly, with a shirt like this and as durable and like I said, as versatile as it is, I don't think you need to have like 8 of these in your collection. You could probably get away with like 2 or 3, which honestly, yeah, looking at over $100, but I feel like the shelf life on these is gonna last a really long time. I have been testing and using these shirts for about 2 months now. I meant to get this review out a lot sooner, but I really just wanted to see how durable this clothing was before I presented it to you, because I've used clothing brands like Western Rise, and when I did my cuts video or any other kind of clothing brand, I like to test those a lot longer than when I test things like bags and accessories, because clothing is something that you're gonna use a lot more than something like a bag, and you're gonna use it in a very different way. So for 2 months, I've been testing both of these, and I gotta say, I've had just an absolute ball with them. They've been absolutely fantastic, and I think they're a really good addition to your wardrobe. Another thing that you might want to take into consideration when it comes to these clothing is the materials and the way that they're made. So a lot of times clothing brands will use certain dyes or chemicals, or maybe the process they use to make these clothing can be really irritant for people that have certain skin conditions or are sensitive to certain chemicals or dyes or things like that. But the nice thing about these is that these are very skin friendly, because the way that they're made, they don't have those really like harmful dyes and chemicals. And how many more times can I say dyes and chemicals? Stay tuned, let's find out. But because of that, and because of their lotus leaf biomimetic technology, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. If you know me, I'm not very good with pronouncing things. But because of the way that they're made and the fact that they're also eco-friendly, it's just an all-in-one package of a t-shirt and a clothing brand that I'm really, really excited for. Not to mention the fact they just launched some really nice looking like hoodies and stuff. Some of them not exactly my style, but they also have pants that are stain resistant. They have long sleeves, short sleeves, zip up hoodies, pull over hoodies. They have crew neck sweaters. They have pull over hoodies. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. And honestly, I'm probably going to be getting some more, because I'm just a big fan of the way these fit. I think these are a really good in between from my everyday, like going out with my Western Rise clothing and then needing something when I travel and might be doing something a little bit more messy, or just needing something that could work for going out to eat, or just going around. I'm at my in-laws farm, hence the nice backdrop right now. And going out on the farm, it's muddy, it's dirty, and so far I've gotten this kind of dirty. I was fixing my father-in-law's roof for his barn, and I was getting dirty, and then I just kind of like rinsed this off, hung it out to dry, and it was absolutely fine. So if you are looking for a good extra t-shirt to put in your wardrobe, to put in your rotation, and you're somebody that fits or checks some of those boxes that I mentioned, that I would highly encourage you to check these out, because these are different than the normal clothing that I typically talk about on this channel, because these are something that's a little bit more technical, but technical in the way that you want them to be. Not technical where they have like a million pockets and then you look like some futuristic cyborg walking around with zippers hanging all over the place. That's not my style. Could be yours, but that's not what I mean when I say technical. I mean technical in the sense that they work really well in the stain resistant, they're comfortable, they're wrinkle resistant, they have great stretch, and just overall a really good t-shirt that I'm very happy they reached out to me. So thank you, Charlie, and to, golly, I'm gonna have to say the brand name again, FIOBOC. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that name. I'm not good with it. I've done it before and I'll continue to do it. So with all of that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about either of these t-shirts, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. If you'd like to, you can shoot me an email, odiematthewsbags@gmail.com, where I'm happy to answer any other questions, comments, show you more videos, photos, or just have a chat if you'd like. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support you give this channel. It means the absolute world to me. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time.